So hello guys, welcome to today's weekly outlook for the coming week. Today we are going to start as usual from fundamentals. So for Monday we are going to have a bank holiday. We're going to have a bank holiday. On Tuesday we are going to have the German ZW economic sentiment. And the most important news in my opinion for the week will be US CPI. This will determine what the market does. This will determine what the market will do for the rest of the week, and maybe even longer than that. When I start explaining, you will see why this would actually be one of the most important news to look out for. Now we have Belly speaking, GBP CPI, which is also very important, very important for GBP, very important. Then we have PPI, claimant count, retail sales, unemployment claims, and all of that. Now CPI is going to actually be the most important piece of news for the week in my opinion, and maybe let's see, probably for the remainder of the month actually. So it's actually going to determine a lot. So if CPI actually comes out way bigger than previous or anticipated or consensus as the case may be, we would see that the possibility of a rate cut reduces, which will increase the chances of dollar strength. Now, if the CPI comes down lower than consensus or forecast, we would see dollar weakness continue. So this is how important this piece of information is. So if CPI comes out above forecast, we're going to see a continued dollar strength. So this is why this is the most important. Now for GBP CPI will determine how sporadic GBP falls on or how it doesn't. So this is what we'll be looking at when it comes to data and then general market sentiment and anticipation. Now coming to seasonality, we would see that there was the beginning of the month came with a strength which we saw in price. Now what will determine whether we will now follow this seasonality, which is weakness in dollars, is CPI. Seasonality does not just work in isolation. Sentiment doesn't work in isolation. So when the fundamental data comes out, which is CPI, how the market interprets it will determine whether we follow through with seasonality or not. So for COT, we could see that dollar has been going down. Now let's look at COT. Now I actually drew out another level here because it's a very logical level, very logical. So if we're to go up, market will continue to go up from here. That is, we'll now start seeing market accumulate, and then in order to trigger DXY going up. But if this level is broken, now dollar weakness to continue. So this is all I have to say as regards to this for now. So for fundamentals, I want to see DXY because DXY has closed above the CP has changed. So I want to see DXY, come up to here or possibly even take this high. It's very much possible. That is dependent on CPI. So CPI is the other thing we're just going to wait for to understand where we're heading to, whether the trajectory has changed or we continue going down. Probably we'll now see that okay, market will react from this other block and then we'll continue going down. But that will be confirmed when we take this low. So CPI becomes that defining data piece of information. So for EURUSD, dependent on CPI also, I want to see market come down to this level or continue going up towards this level. So everything is dependent on CPI. I also want to see GBP coming down to this weekly order block, or maybe continue going up dependent on CPI. So yeah, dependent on CPI. As you could see how market actually is in a daily order block. So on Monday you might actually just see some rangy day because of we have what is it called, a bank holiday. So and then CPI will now determine the rest of the move, whether will continue going down or will now start going up. For to start going up, I want to see this high taken, this daily candle high. I want to see it taken if I to continue going up, and then this level here taken also. So I'd like to see that if we start going up, but if we're not to go up, I just want to see market continue going down. And then if we're to continue going down, generally I would want to see market come down to this level. This becomes the most obvious level I'll be actually looking out for, dependent on what CPI does. If the CPI comes out for dollar positivity, which means there'll be a delayed rate cut, blah blah blah, might actually start seeing there's a strong CPI. I would want to see market coming down to this level. I really want to see market coming down to this level if that is the case. So I don't know, I think that is it for now. Everything is just dependent on CPI. We need CPI for clarity. I cannot just come and be calling technical levels. I need CPI as a determinant of who we're heading to from here. So that's it for now. I think, yes. So nothing much for the coming week. Everything is just dependent on CPI. If I have time, I would maybe possibly brief you guys after CPI, but if I don't, then we'll see you on during the weekend again. Thank you guys.